Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Life. I'm your host, the host, and today we will be uncovering, are you projecting the way you think you are? And to learn how to love the you that you don't know about. Let's jump right into it. So, have you ever catch yourself in this situation where someone take a picture of you off guard, and when you see it, it looks really weird? And when you show it to others, they said, yes, this is you. I have many of these experiences. Sometimes you see that happen also when you mirror your selfie. Something looks off, but you just can't tell what. Even times where we listen to our own voices, when we've heard it, we feel like, no, this is not what I heard from my side. That's definitely not my voice, or something is wrong with the recorder. Yeah, you know, the sound, the face, the picture, it's all you, but it's more disfigured, let's say that. So these situations pile up and add up, and I realize that maybe it's not a coincidence. Maybe something is off with my perception of myself. Maybe it's different from what people perceive me. And I start to be more aware if any of these situations happen again. So I've seen myself in this situation also in dancing. When I look at myself in the mirror when I'm dancing, it feels like my movements are sharp and straight and very energetic. However, when someone recorded me and when I look at the video again, it seems like I have less power and I have less isolation. Another very interesting situation that I find myself in is being very self conscious of any changes to my body or to my face, to my hair, and I believe many of us do. For example, I'm very conscious if my hair is a centimeter more puffy than usual. Or, for example, if someone made a light makeup look and to them it looks very different and they realize that they have makeup on. However, to others, maybe people might not even notice it. And this also shows that people are less sensitive to our changes than we do. Why, though? Why is this the case? I was being more aware of these situations and I started to ask people how they saw me. And here's what I got. So it is because our understanding of how others perceived us is through photos, mirrors, and reflections. So we don't know how others see us unless we use these tools. And that's how we look at ourselves too, because we rarely see ourselves, not to mention at different angles. So, yeah, think about it. How often do we look at mirrors? Do we angle and pose nice when we look at mirrors? So when we look at mirrors and taking selfies, we do pose, we do have angles, but most of the time, we do not pose in front of others, and we never see ourselves in such way, a way different from what we would assume we look like based on our posing in a mirror, if you get what I mean. There's even this experiment where people find putting two mirrors against each other angled at 90 degrees, which will show what you look like in other people's eyes. So you can see a own reflection of yourself that people see of you. And a lot of people were shocked at the results. They saw themselves and realized, no, I do not look like that. Why do I look like that? And why do I look disfigured? And yeah, it's a very common reaction because nobody really see themselves in real life. And because of this unfamiliarity, it is very normal to be shocked at first. So if you have time or you have the tools and resources, you should definitely try it out. So you might be wondering, Why is it important? Well, it is a unique phenomenon that will explain to you all these times where you wonder why your photos look this way or why your voice is that way. It tells us that we're really unfamiliar with our body, with our voice, with our face, just because we do not get the chance to be familiarized with it. And that is why some people might freak out because they realize that they might not be perceived as a person that they think they were by others. But don't freak out. You should know that to your peers, they already normalized it. So it only seems weird because you're not familiar with yourselves. Some people will mind looking a certain way, however. So let's say if we want to change something, what should we do? But before we go into it, just know that we have to be comfortable with ourselves, our body, our sound, our actions, and also know that you're more charismatic than you think because everything, your actions, your appearance that you portrayed made you who you are today. And that made you special. Your habits, for example, like smiling a lot, um, makes your personality and it brings you the people you have around you. Sometimes it could be other habits like always being very cheerful whenever you did something little. And that attracts people and it attracts the social circle that you have. And it is the reason why you have your friends with you. And that is why people are friends with you. And that is what makes you, you. All you have to do is to be familiarized and comfortable with your body. Love yourself, your body, your voice, your everything. If, however, you're unsatisfied with any habits and you want to work for it, for example, um, I have habits that I really wanted to change before, which is side viewing the TV. A few years ago, when I looked at the TV, I always lie down on the sofa. And when I looked at the TV, my eyes are side viewing the TV, which to others, it looks a little bit disrespectful. To my eyes, it's not that healthy too. So after knowing that fact, when someone took a photo, of course, um, I asked others to take photos of me occasionally when I was watching the TV, so that whenever I saw pictures of me side viewing, it is a reminder to me that I have to change this habit. Another example is dance. How I improved my dance by filming myself so that I could know what others would see when I dance in front of them. So it is a really great way for me to understand um, what I look like on stage and what I look like when I'm performing in front of people and in their perspectives. So when I realized that I want to make a movement sharper, or when I want to emphasize a dance move more than the other, I film myself and then I could figure it out. And yeah, it just improves my dancing overall. And yeah, it's an indication of how I could familiarize with my body by filming myself. And this is something that you can do too. To get familiarized with yourself, you could start filming yourself. You could do it when you're eating, dancing at different angles, up, bottom, down, um, you know. So you know that if you want to be perceived in that way, there might be angles that you find not appealing to you, but also know that this is how people might perceive you in their perspective. So if you mind it, then you know you have something that you want to work for. Same way goes to your voice. You can record and listen to your voice. You could be loud, or you can turn down the volume. You can laugh, you can whisper, and you will learn so much more about yourself. And last, I would say just embrace it. The more you're familiarized with your body, with your voice, with how you look, the more you can explore what you can do and change about yourself. Otherwise, we will always find it weird and we will never want to explore it because we just immediately assume that something is off with the camera, with the recorder, and we just think that that's not true. And it limits a lot of opportunities for us to improve or learn about our real self. So, just to summarize everything that we talked about in this podcast, first is that you might see yourself on video or voice record that shows something disfigured compared to what you thought you looked like, or that a single strand of hair makes you look not nice. But keep in mind that it is that we are not used to how we look like in people's eyes, because the only time that we see ourselves are on the well posed, perfect angle selfies and mirror checks. So the less familiarized you are with yourself or others, other style, other voice type, the more quotation marks weird you think you are. So embrace the you don't know about. Record yourself and see what is it about it that makes you you. What are some habits that you want to change and what are some habits that you think makes you special? Regardless, we always have to keep in mind that we have to appreciate our body as it takes us to places. Let us see the beautiful sceneries, taste delicacies, feel love, and brought us the whole life experience. Last, we are brilliant. Thank you for joining me at Let's Talk Life. I'm your host, the host, and I hope you learned something new about your body and life. And we'll continue embarking on this journey on the next episode. See you.